And now, Mike's thoughts. Last night, we saw a lot of great things with the NFL Honors Award. We saw Matthew Stafford win MVP. We seen Mike Vrabel win AP Coach of the Year. We seen Josh McDaniels win Assistant Coach of the Year. We seen JSN win Offensive Player of the Year. We saw a lot of great things, a lot of great awards, a lot of great speeches. And you know what? What I've loved the most about the NFL awards was the NFL PA choir. I did not realize that they had the choir. That was simply amazing. But Drewski. Could this man be any more disrespectful? Not only did he kind of throw shade at one of the all-time greats, Barry Sanders. It's like, come on, Barry, that's my line. Like, well, stop it. Then you go on and say JSN's name 3 different ways. Now, here on the Man Hour, sometimes I do not pronounce names correctly. That's on me. And now I see how disrespectful it can be. The reason that sometimes I play on names a little bit is because people may make fun of my name all the time. Well, not make fun of it, but they can't say it, right? Buckheister. Very, very hard name. When you see it, it's very, very hard to say it. But once you know how to say it, you know how to say it. Much like Tua. Very, very few people can pronounce his name. So it's just Tua. What Drewski did last night to JSN was absolutely disrespectful. And I understand Drewski being Drewski. Oh, stop it. That was silly. That was asinine. That was 10. That's 11. That was the most disrespectful thing he could have. This man just won Offensive Player of the Year, and you're trying to make fun, or like you're trying to make people laugh. Like, that's not your point, right? That is not your point. And then Mike Vrabel's name got messed up as well. Listen, I understand you want these celebrities out there, like announcing awards and all this other stuff, yada, yada, yada. You know what? Prep them. Say, hey, this is how you say the name. Say it to me 6, 7, 8 times before you go on stage. They already know who is going to win. They know they done knowing it for the last week, 2 weeks, hell, since regular season ended. Let's just be honest. Prep them for that. Come on, Drewski. The man's dead to me. He was funny, but now he's just like, no. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation. Rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it.
This is
Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Guys, welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you guys went with us today. But guys, if you get too carried away, comment down below. This is a live interactive show, so I want to hear your opinions, your hot takes, and your thoughts as well. But guys, head over to manhourradio.com as well. Where you find all exclusive merchandise, the freshest blogs, and everything's happening with the Man Hour show. So guys, if you're rocking the Man Hour, that's the spot to do it. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, of course, subscribe as well so you never miss a live after show. That's the easiest way to stay plugged into us. But if you want the full Man Hour shares, guys, become a Big Sim Pundit. That is our members-only community where you get free entry to the weekly NFL pick'ems, giveaways, exclusive merchandise, and bonus live stream on the Picks and Pundits gift. So you want that next level access, guys, join the squad today. And remember, this is a live after show, so comment down below. Just like my man, Average American Boy says, what's good, baby? What's good, brother? What's good? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome back. We had a nice little interaction last night. Hopefully, you got some warm weather down there in Louisiana, because here in southern Indiana, it was about 40 degrees today. It was good. It was very, very good. And he also comes back and says, That award show was just screwed up. And you know what? I 100% agree. There are some good parts of it. Like, I love the choir. I love the Hall of Fame inductees. Who was it? Craig for the 49ers. Him losing it just made me lose. I was like, man, I'm grown-ass man. I'm crying for somebody else. Like, there's some good parts. But then the girl that came out in the dress with Steve Young walking like, me and my wife were sitting there making like, what is going on? And then Steve's like, here, put on your glasses. You can't read that, obviously. But yeah, like I said, it was just it's an award show. Like, I get it. You dress to impress. Dion Dawkins shorts suit. What was that all about? Like, come on, man. Get out of here. And then Bruins Prod says Drake May deserved the MVP. So, Bruins Prod, Drake May was 1 vote away. 5 points away from getting that MVP, right? And I agree with you. He definitely deserved it. However, when we say Drake May deserved it, that's making it sound like Matthew Stafford didn't deserve it, right? And truth be told, Matthew Stafford definitely deserved it. It's just Matthew Stafford is a little bit more pronounced in the NFL career. Drake May is only in his second year. He has a long ways to go. He has a long career ahead of him. Matthew Stafford is on the tail end of his career. Now, we did hear in his MVP speech that he'll be back next season. Let's run it back, baby. But ultimately, Matthew Stafford won. We got my man Jim is in the chat. Jim's a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
You said, what up? He said Drake May had a weak schedule. Oh, sorry, that was Average Joe that said that. Jim says if Drake May deserved it, guess what? He didn't get it, did he? and the Average American Boy says Drake May had a weak schedule. And yes, we are all on the understanding that Drake May, the New England Patriots in general, had a favorable schedule this season. However, he still did put up the numbers, did still put up the wins, and it's not like you make your schedule. The NFL makes the schedule for you. Now, if this was college, and let's say this was, I don't know, LSU, for example, Average American Boy, and they played Louisiana Tech every weekend, Appalachian State, and then you can throw in like a Michigan State. They suck, right? And then Kentucky, they suck even worse, right? And so, it's not like they're like a college team making their schedule. The NFL makes the schedule for them, so you play who's in front of you. They want to be competitive and whatever. Third place schedule. Well, next year we'll see. They'll have a first place schedule next year. They will have most likely a 31st overall pick. Catch my drift there. And we will see exactly what they do. And he says, but he didn't have the weapons like Matt did. And I disagree with that. We spoke on this a little bit last night. And I'm not saying that Matt Collins is a Devontae Adams. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Stephon Diggs is a Puka. I'm not saying that. However, they are equivalent. Stephon Diggs is a number one receiver in the NFL. Call it what you want. He is a number one receiver. Also, Booty. He is a solid number two receiver. Now, he's no Devontae Adams, but you know what? Devontae Adams isn't Devontae Adams either. Right? He is going through Father Time is undefeated, and you see him slowing down a little bit, not getting the ball as much. And then you got Matt Collins. Matt Collins quietly did his thing all season long. Bruins Prod, you have to admit, Average American Boy, Jim, rest of the picks and put out there, Man Hour Nation, you guys have to admit that the Patriots receiving core was equivalent to the Rams. I'm not saying they were better. I'm not saying they were neck and neck, but it was like a 1 and then like a 2. It wasn't like a 1 and like a 12. They were both right there. So for everybody that says that Drake May didn't have these weapons, they very much had a very nice receiving core. Was it the best in the NFL? No. Was it a top 5 in the NFL? Some could say yes. Top 10, definitely. Definitely a top 10 receiver core in the NFL. Matt Collins did his thing. Booty did his thing. Stephon Diggs did his thing. And oh, by the way, they had a three-headed monster in the running game until the one guy got hurt. I forget his name. But they had a two-headed running back monster, and they had a great elite defense. So it is what it is. An average American boy says, Puka and JSN or for my fantasy. That should have been championship. That should have been a championship. But there's a team out there that, honestly, guys, is never going to win a championship ever. There's a team out there that is just going to be rinse, cycle, repeat, year after year after year, and that is the Cleveland Browns. Guys, Jim Schwartz said, I'm out. See you later, alligator. And they said, after a while, crocodile, don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. This one hit the wire, and it matters more than what people think. The Cleveland Browns are officially moving on from Jim Schwartz. Actually, Jim Schwartz is actually moving on from the Cleveland Browns. He resigns as defensive coordinator after missing out on the head coaching job. And now that job belongs to Todd Monken. Let's just be real. This is not a normal coordinator exit. This simply is a pride exit. Jim Schwartz didn't leave because his defense failed. He didn't leave because the locker room turned. He left because he wanted the big chair and he didn't get it. Second time this organization has passed over him. First in 2020 and now in 2026. Eventually, even the most professional coaches stop pretending they are fine with it. Guys, let's talk about what Cleveland is losing here. Since 2023, this defense has allowed the fewest yards in the entire NFL. That is not a stat you stumble into. That is identity. That is culture. That is week after week telling offenses you are not welcome here. And at the center of it, of course, is Myles Garrett. Two-time Defensive Player of the Year underneath Jim Schwartz. Broke a single-season sack record this season. Garrett himself said he loved playing for Jim Schwartz. When your best player is saying that publicly, that has to carry weight. But in Cleveland, it doesn't. Jim Schwartz defenses weren't cute. They were violent, they were disciplined, and they were confident. You lined up knowing exactly what was coming, and it still hits you in the mouth week after week after week. Now here comes Todd Monken. Monken said he doesn't anticipate changing the defensive scheme. Ownership says most of the defensive starters and staff are expected back. On paper, that sounds steady. But here's the truth that doesn't fit the press release. Scheme stays, voices change. And that matters. You can keep the same playbook. You can keep the same photocopy that the presence of a coordinator who players believe in. You cannot disrupt the edge of a guy who coaches defense like it's a personal. Now let's talk about Jim Schwartz himself. He is 59 years old. He is under contract for one more season. The Browns could technically block him from going anywhere else as a coordinator. And because of all that, the most likely outcome is Jim Schwartz sits out the 2026 NFL season. This is not a retirement. This is a recalibration. He has been a head coach before with the Detroit Lions. Now, let's just be honest. It did not go too well, 29-51 as a head coach. That record still follows him like a shadow. But what he does since as a defensive coordinator, as a defensive architect, he's absolutely rebuilt his reputation. This feels like a man stepping away, not a man fading away. So here's a question Cleveland has to answer moving forward. Can this defense stay elite without the man who has given us edge? Because talent is only part of it. Buy-in is the other part. And when a coach leaves like this, not fired, not poached, but disappeared, that creates ripples in a locker room whether people want to admit it or not. But guys, I think the Browns defense 100% takes a step back in 2026. Not a collapse, not a disaster, but elite to pretty good. And in the NFL, the gap is difference between Super Bowl and dreaming of division round exits, or in the Browns' case, a 4-win season or a 1-win season. I think the Browns' defense is still them, but I want to hear from you, Man Hour Nation. Did the Browns make the right call choosing Todd Monken over Jim Schwartz, or did they just let the heart of their defense walk out the door? Guys, let me know in the comments down below and let's discuss your thoughts. Subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we are live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time, right at youtube.com/man hour. Now, this is a live interactive show, so comment down below. Now, let's get into your guys' comments. Jim says, something is in the air tonight. The stars were bright. Fernando won't matter after April. Give Mendoza the MVP already for next season. It's a wrap. Jim, let me tell you this. Now, we are going to get deep into the NFL draft very, very shortly here, Jim, right? Probably March. So we got a week to kind of lull about the hirings and the postseason Super Bowl low, and then we're getting into the draft. And I'm going to tell you this, Jim. You're my boy. You are the CEO of the Picks and Punish. You run that show, Jim. Let's just be honest about it. Fernando is not going to Las Vegas Raiders. If the Las Vegas Raiders ever want to be good, Jim, if your Las Vegas Raiders ever want to be a top-tier team, a Super Bowl team, AFC West champions, they're going to trade out of that first overall pick. Just saying. Average American Boy says they were stupid for hiring Todd Monken. And, yes, I agree. However, James Frank is a huge Cleveland Browns fan. And guys, we will be covering the Cleveland Browns every Sunday in the NFL season next year on our pregame show. We'll be breaking them down. But like my man James Frank said, he's a Picks and Pundit as well. He said, after hearing Todd Monken's introductory speech, it got him excited. I was like, what? Really? Todd Monken got you excited? So I had to go back and look for that speech. So I got on YouTube, looked up Todd Monken and the Cleveland Browns introductory press conference, and he says all the right things. Todd Monken says all the right things. Now, does he do all the right things? No. But he says all the right things. And sometimes maybe a different environment is just what you need. Sometimes a different shade of brown is what you need. I'm just saying. Joe carried that team. He means Jim carried that team. And obviously, yes, Jim Schwartz is the only reason why the Cleveland Browns were halfway relevant this season. You had two defensive players of the year on the same team. Carson, I forget his last name, and Myles Garrett. Defensive rookie of the year and defensive player of the year, all on the same team, all on the front four, right? Front seven. I guess he was like a linebacker, wasn't he? So yes, obviously Jim is doing his thing. Jim Schwartz carried that team. Stupid hire for Monken, plain stupid hire for Monken, plain stupid hire for Monken. I get it. Average American Boy does not like my man Todd Monken, and thank you for the jewels. I appreciate that, buddy. My man, John Peoples in the chat.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Guys, John is a Pigskin Pundit. Be like John and hit the membership tab down below. You get free merchandise, free entry into weekly NFL Pick'ems. Last year we gave away, I think it was like $2,500. So free entry, potentially winning $2,500. Why not, right? Why not? You got to do what you got to do. And Jim says Crosby is gone and we'll get what we need. The Browns, however, haven't really been relevant since Flacco. So haven't been relevant since what, week 3? Because didn't Flacco play for the Browns this season? I'm just saying, Flacco. So if you want to talk shit, I'm just saying, Carson is a linebacker. Yeah, he is one of those hybrid linebackers, right? Like he walks up on the edge sometimes and plays in the middle. Like I actually last night after he won the award, I'm like, man, I didn't think he was going to win Defensive Player of the Year award. But then I went back and watched like his highlight tape from the season. He's a dog. He is a dog, and I like his dad too. His dad introduced him. It was pretty awesome. Average American Boy says, but I feel like Todd Monken might make the team half decent. Half decent is not going to win you a lot of games. I mean, because let's just be honest. The Browns were what, a 4-win team this season, 5-win team this season? If they improve 100%, they double their win total from 4 to 8 next season, they're still a losing team. Halfway decent is not going to cut it in Cleveland. You have to be a 200% better. You have to win that division next season. Because Ravens got a new coach. Lamar Jackson will be playing for his life out there. Steelers, we don't know what to do with our hands. Bengals, it's the Bengals. The Bengals. Just saying. He says, I'm not setting my expectations too high. As you shouldn't. Raiders fans should never set their expectations high ever again. Sorry, John. Your boys are never going to the Super Bowl. If you guys don't know, this last offseason in June, July of each season, I make my predictions throughout the year. I said the Raiders were going to be a 4-win team this season, and everybody on that video trolled. You know what you're talking about, you and told you so yet again, right? And John Peoples picks him punting himself. John, don't go right and hide now here, man. I know you're here. He said, we going to win the AFC West. We going to go to the AFC Championship. You better look out for us. We coming, baby, pounding that chest. Week 3, he became a Detroit Lions fan. And Jim, coal hauling and removal. Guys, if you're in the Kentuckiana area, that is northern Kentucky, southern Indiana. If you guys need any junk removed, guys, hit up Jim. He did it at our old house right when we moved about almost a year ago now. Actually, it's like 8 months ago now. He did a great job. Put it exactly where I wanted it. Got the shit all bada bing, bada boom. That man was in and out like a thief in the night. Beautiful. Appreciate you, Jim. But he says Geno Smith should have been defensive player of the year. I'm just saying. Average American Boy says, and I'm the neutral NFL fan. Says I'm more of a neutral NFL fan, but I will have my thoughts and feel like Max Crosby will get traded. Let's talk about this because I said this last year. I said Max Crosby should have been traded last season before Christian Wilkins got cut for putting fingers in booty holes and whatever he did. Before they got Pete Carroll, before they got Geno Smith, I said once they fired, what was the old coach's name? Was it Antonio Pierce? Once they fired Antonio Pierce, they should have cleaned house completely that season. Trade away Max Crosby. You probably could have got 3 first-round draft picks for that man that particular season. Should have cleaned out house. They drafted Brock Bowers that particular year, if I'm not mistaken, right? They should have cleaned house. But yes, I feel Max Crosby is on the outside looking in, not because he is, he's definitely past his prime. He's been injured a lot the last couple seasons with ankles. He's still getting his numbers, still getting his bread. People are still scared of him. I still think teams will probably give you 2 first-round draft picks for him, Kansas City Chiefs. But I do think you're right, average American boy. I think Max Crosby has seen his last black and silver game. Whether he goes to the Dallas Cowboys, whether he goes to a team like the Denver Broncos that have a lot of salary cap this season. There are teams that would give a lot for Max Crosby for a 2-3 year fix. Teams that I think could definitely use him is the Dallas Cowboys. That would be a match made in heaven, I think, 100%. He says for draft capital, yes, 2 first-round draft picks and probably like a 2nd or 3rd round draft pick would see that. And John says, whoa, slow it down, baby. I can see your feminine side coming out, living in the past. See, it's wrong. It's feminine if I said, you remember when I said this, and I was right, and like you were wrong, but all the people that I said the Kansas City Chiefs were going to make the playoffs this season and win the AFC West still, even though despite being like a 10-win team, I thought they were going to do it. People are still talking about that. Well, what about your Chiefs pick? What about your Chiefs pick? I was wrong about the Chiefs this season. Well, I wasn't wrong about the Chiefs on their missing the Super Bowl and all that, but I thought they're still going to be a 10-win team and a playoff team, a first, 2nd round exit. But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. Jim says, I was in Cleveland a lot and I hated it, but the city is upgrading. Maybe the team will as well. So basically what Jim is saying is Cleveland is full of gravel roads. They have the size 9 or C9 gravel roads. They have upgraded from gravel roads They meshed that stuff down into pea gravel and put a little asphalt on top of it. So now it's a seal-coated gravel road in Cleveland. So they're moving up. That's what Jim said. But the Browns got robbed on the Watson trade. Did they, though? Did they? Because to be fair, if you want to live in the past, average American boy, if you want to live in the past, John, Jim, Bruins prod, we have to say that at the time, I thought, Baker just led you to the playoffs at that particular time, beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, if I'm not mistaken, on a torn labrum, and then you go out and get Deshaun Watson. Back then I was like, well, that was stupid. However, at the time, Deshaun Watson was a top 10, if not a top 5 quarterback. Now, you cannot predict injuries. You cannot predict torn his Achilles, twice, or his ACL. You cannot predict 37 sexual allegations where none of them pass in the court of law, by the way. We'll see what Watson does. Jay Glazer said he wants to play for Vermeil. Like Jay Glazer, like the little 5'2" guy on Fox? Is that who you're talking about? Interesting. Average American Boy says, I think Chiefs will take Miami's Ed Rusher, Bain. I think his name or something like that is something like just like that. I don't know who you're talking about. The only edge rusher I can think of Miami right now is Bradley Chubb. But I'm not for sure. But guys, let's get into topic number 2 today. Because let's talk about the MVP. Bruins prod, where you at? Because your boy Drake May did not win the NFL MVP. And I told you guys, for the last 2 months, Drake May was not going to win the MVP. Let me pat myself on the back. Yeah, congratulations, Buck. Yeah, you were right? But this was one of the most... this was the... What do I want to say? Guys, this was the most NFL honors moment out there. This was one of those NFL honor moments where you sit back and just say, yeah, this is why we love the NFL. This is why we love the league. This is why we come back week after week, year after year, despite everything else that happens in the offseason. This is why we come back. Matthew Stafford is your NFL MVP. And he's just not your MVP, but he is the oldest first-time MVP in league history at 37 years old. 17 seasons in, still slinging it, still rewriting that longevity at quarterback looks like. And he didn't just win it, he barely survived it. Let's just be honest, right? Matthew Stafford edged out Drake May by 5 points. 24 first-place votes to 23. That's razor thin. That is the kind of vote where one ballot flips the entire night, looks different. Closest MVP race since Peyton Manning and Steve McNair had back in 2003. Let that sink in. Now let's talk about the moment that stole the night. Stafford gets on stage with his 4 daughters, all dressed the same, sitting there like champions starting lineup. He thanks his team. He thanks his family. Then he drops a line that lit the room up. He's coming back next season. No press release, no tweet, no agent leak, just a quarterback telling the football world, I'm not done yet. We coming back, baby. That matters for the Los Angeles Rams a lot. Stafford led the NFL with 4,707 yards passing, threw a career-high 46 touchdowns and only 8 interceptions. That is peak efficiency mixed with controlled chaos. And he also just became the 4th-ranked player ever to win the MVP, joining Gabriel, Kurt Warner, and the one and only Marshall Faulk. And here's the wild part. The Rams were the 5 seed. 2nd place in the NFC West, 12-5, no bye, no top 2 seed buys. Stafford became his first MVP winner on the outside of the top 2 seeds since Adrian Peterson since 2012. Quarterbacks almost never do that. That is pure value. Now let's flip it to the other side of the conversation because Drake May did everything you could ask for and then some. 14-3. AFC East title, 2nd seed, leading the NFL in passer rating, completion percentage, and yards per attempt. Over 4,300 yards passing in his 2nd season. At 23 years old, he becomes the youngest player since the merger to lead the league in completion percentage since Joe Montana. That is not hype. It's flat out history. And here's the thing that is fascinating. Voting was done before the playoffs. So what happens Sunday in the Super Bowl doesn't matter for the MVP, but it will matter for his legacy. If Drake May wins that game, this MVP loss turns into fuel. If Stafford won the MVP and then retired, this would feel like a passing of the torch moment. But Stafford isn't going anywhere. That changes the tone for the entire league in 2026. But let's zoom out a little bit. Stafford finished ahead of Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Trevor Lawrence, and the one and only Justin Herbert. That tells you how special this season really was. He even snagged the first, but this night belonged to Matthew Stafford at all. 17 years, a Super Bowl ring, an MVP, and now an encore season coming in a stadium that will host Super Bowl in the 2027 season. Stafford basically told the league, I'm not chasing a farewell tour, I'm chasing another shot. But I think the voters got this one right. Matthew Stafford was the most valuable player for the NFL season. Drake May is the future of this league. Cannot take anything away from the kid. And the fact that this race was so close in his second season should scare everybody in the AFC, matter of fact, in the NFL. But I want to hear from you, Man Hour Nation. Did the voters get this right, or should Drake May have taken home the MVP? Let's get into the comments, guys, and discuss your thoughts. Subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we are live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. East Coast time at youtube.com/Man Hour. Now, this is a live and outro show, guys, so comment down below. Did the voters get it right? And John People simply says, Matthew freaking Stafford, baby. John, you are a lifelong Detroit Lions fan. Well, you are a part-time Detroit Lions fan. You like to flip-flop back and forth all the time, but no. Matthew Stafford is a man's man. I loved Matthew Stafford coming out of Georgia. I loved him when he was when the Detroit Lions, and honestly, I was kind of heartbroken seeing him leave the Detroit Lions. I'm like, what is going on? But I mean, obviously, like I told many of my closest friends, sometimes you got to scalp that lawn for it to come back nice, thick, and third and full again, right? And that's exactly what Matthew Stafford had to do. He had to scalp his lawn, got traded to LA, Super Bowl ring. He did a great job. Jim says Dak is the Derek Carr of the 2020s. Not wrong. Not wrong. Jim said 53 tutties at 37 years old. That doesn't happen in Detroit. It could with Dan Campbell at the helm, potentially, right? With Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell and the boys. That was a great coaching staff last season, 2024 NFL season, or 2024 NFL season. That was a great staff. However, Sean McVay is a great play caller. Sean McVay is a great organizing of plays and getting the ball in the end zone. So I do have to agree with you. Probably wouldn't have happened in Detroit. It could have, but LA has been a dream come true for Matthew Stafford. Average American Boy says, I don't want to sound obnoxious, but I think Drake May looks like Tom Brady 2.0. Average American Boy, you are here for the second time, third time or so. I can't remember how many times you've been. You've been here a few times, but Bruins Prod loves him some Drake May. I don't know where Bruins Prod went, but he was here earlier, and he loves him some Drake May. And you are not the first person to say that Drake May looks like Tom Brady 2.0. And honestly, it has the written all over it. Tom Brady, his second year, went to the Super Bowl, right? Second year? Won that Super Bowl, was carried by his defense. Drake May going to Super Bowl his second year, carried by his defense. Now, there might be times down the road, 6, 7, 8 years down the road, when Drake May becomes a Matthew Stafford and puts up 53 tutties. But you know what? He doesn't got to do that right now. He just got to let his defense eat. Let his defense eat, and it is what it is. And John People says, yes, they finally got it right. So, John, let me ask you this. What past MVPs did you think they not got right? Was it Lamar Jackson? Was it Patrick Mahomes? Was it Josh Allen? What MVPs did they not get right in the last four or five years? And the Average American Boy says, yes, they got it right. Matthew Stafford deserves the MVP. If you guys back up about a half hour, Bruins Prod says Drake May deserve the MVP. I'm not saying he did not have the MVP quality year, but I think Matthew Stafford deserves it. Because let's just be honest. MVP is the most valuable player on the team. Would the Rams been second place in the NFC West without Matthew Stafford? Would the Rams have gone to the NFC Championship game without Matthew Stafford? No and no. Tim Reynolds shows up. What's up, Tim? He says Matthew is the MVP, not a mistake. I agree, Tim Reynolds. Thank you for tuning in today, and I agree with you. I've been saying it for the last couple months. Matthew Stafford. Now I kind of veered off a little bit. I like Trevor Lawrence there for like a little bit, but then going back and watching Matthew Stafford throughout the season, looking at the box scores and what he did, definitely Matthew Stafford. Definitely deserved it. Definitely deserved it. Average American Boy says, Matt, the MVP. They got it right. I love saying Drake May, but of course, it's always the press. And listen, I would not be mad if Drake May won it either. I would have been mad if Christian McCaffrey won it. I would not have been mad if JSN won it. I would not have been mad if Trevor Lawrence won it. Hell, I wouldn't have been mad if Jahmyr Gibbs won it. There were a lot of quality candidates out there. I mean, to be fair, if we're talking about the most valuable player, how is JSN not even in the running for MVP? The man won Offensive Player of the Year, led the league in receiving with 1,700 plus yards. We're going to be talking about him next segment. He was literally unstoppable all season long. How is he not even in MVP conversation? That is tough. And Tim Reynolds says possibly back-to-back MVPs from Matthew Stafford if the Rams looked this good this next NFL season. And I'm going to say, slow it down, baby. Let's take it one step at a time. Now, Matthew Stafford is saying all the right things right now. Right? Just got their asses whooped by the Seattle Seahawks, seeing your division rival go to the Super Bowl. You want to, right? But let's flash back to May last year, June last year, July last year, hell, August, going into September last year. Matthew Stafford had back issues all offseason. Could not, he was, did he do any training camp before preseason games? He didn't play any preseason games. Came in week one questionable with the back issue. Those back issues just don't disappear. Now, I'm not saying he's blowing, I'm not saying he's blowing smoke, but I am saying he is seeing light with rose-colored lenses, if that makes sense. Go through the offseason. Once that adrenaline of the season wears off, once your pain shots wear off, once you get out of bed and you're like, oh, then come back and see, right? He had back issues all season. Those just don't go away unless he's had surgery in the last week and is already out walking again. It just doesn't go away. But if he played like he did this season, you have to give it to him. However, just like I tell my high school kids, once I see you perform here, I expect you to perform here all day long, all year long, every game long. Once you slip down to here, that's still pretty damn good, but I expect you to be up here. And like, what all that happened, right? Now that we've seen Matthew Stafford play at this level, to get an MVP, we expect him to be at this level. Now, granted, a player down here, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, down years, right? Tua, Lamar. If they even go like this, we're like, oh, MVP year. Matthew Stafford could still be way up here, but we're like, oh, this guy, right? It's always about the newest and greatest thing. That's just what it is. Jim says, any MVP that ain't the Las Vegas Raiders was wrong. So, Jim, you are a Raiders fan, obviously. I'm not going to take anything away from you, but I'm sorry for your losses. when you look at the Las Vegas Raiders, realistically, who is the MVP on your team? When you look just at your team, who is the MVP? Are you going to give it to Brock Bowers that played half of the year? Are you going to give it to what's the running back's name? Why is his name slip on my mind? Guys, help me out in the chat. What was the running back for the Ashton Genty, right? He had what, 4 solid games maybe? Took him to about week 7, week 8 to really figure himself out. Geno Smith, Jacoby Myers that ended up on another team. Who legitimately is going to be your MVP? I'm just saying. Jim says Trevor Lawrence just couldn't smell it out and pull it off. You see what I did there? Yeah. Jim's always makes fun of Trevor Lawrence's nose. An average American boy says we don't need another Pats dynasty. Yes, we do. When the Patriots are good and the Chiefs are good, life is good. Rick Nichols 5091. What's up, Rick? He says, really, I picked both those teams so I win the Super Bowl. So the rest of you all can sit on the couch and ponder what I've been. So Rick is telling me that he picked the Seahawks and Patriots to go to the Super Bowl at the start of the year. And Rick, I don't know you, but thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, because if you did pick the Seahawks and Patriots to go to the Super Bowl back in June, July, hell, even August or September or October, credit is due, brother. Credit is due, because I certainly did not. I had the Patriots as a 7-8 win team. I had the Seahawks as a 7-win team. I did not have them winning anything. My man James Frank, Pigskin Pundit.
Pigskin Pun. Get you some.
He says, give Matthew Stafford his flowers. He deserved that award. They got all those awards right. I agree. For the first time, I agree with you, James. They got the assistant coach of the year right. Josh McDaniels had a great offensive play calling. They got the head coach right, Mike Vrabel. Defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett. Offensive player of the year, JSN. They got everything right. Hell, Walter Payton Man of the Year award. I had no idea Bobby Wagner did that. I had no idea he lost his mom. They got that right too. Rick says, I really want Seattle, but it looks like the Patriots are going to win it. We're going to talk about that stuff. Dub Nation says, Staff Daddy. What? What are you talking about? Oh, Stafford. Matthew Stafford. So he's saying Staff Daddy? So Matthew Stafford's domination? Okay. Rick says, take care. And yes, we will wait and see. All right, Rick. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Ashton Genty is the running back. Thank you for that average American boy. Rick says, that's right. Wait and see. And Michael Jacoby's in the chat. He says, FTR. Is that F the Raiders? Is that what that is? But then saying Max. Got narrowed down, my Jacoby. Got narrowed down. Dub Nation says Seahawks going to put that belt to ask the Patriots. We going to see about that. We going to see about that right now, because JSN cannot be fought. The man simply cannot be stopped. Man, our nation, we have talked about the quarterbacks. We've talked about the running game and all the chess matches in the upcoming Super Bowl versus the Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. But today we're going to zoom in on the single storyline that has literally bent every defensive scheme this season. Guys, this is not hot take stuff. This is film room reality. And tonight we're breaking down why JSN does that defense looks helpless week after week after week. Guys, let's get into this. Jaxon Smith-Njigba isn't just a good receiver. He led the entire league in receiving yards this season. He was damn near 1,800 yards this season. A total massive and changed how Seattle built his offense. But here's the thing. He doesn't beat defense the same way explosive receivers usually do. He doesn't rely on simply being faster, bigger, or stronger. He wins in ways that the format defense concepts. Guys, he has elite separation on every level. JSN's route running isn't typical. He sets up defenders before the snap and uses subtle body control to create leverage that feels impossible to read. Defenses try to sink underneath the coverage or bracket him, and he still finds daylight. Whether it's short, intermediate, or downfield routes, that's not luck, that's skill multiplied by precision. Most wide receivers have a home, like the outside or a slot, but JSN is a position antagonistic nightmare. He can line up outside, he can slide into the slot, he even looks out in the backfield and still wrecks the defenses. That forces defensive coordinators into a chess match that they never win. Do you shadow him with the best corner? Do you double him and open up something else? Do you rotate safeties and get proven open spaces behind you? Every choice has a downside, and every choice has failed this season. Scheme adjustments, pre-snap movements, and disguises coverage usually gives defenses an edge, but JSN thrives in that chaos. He absolutely, matter of fact, he actually diagnoses coverages pre-snap and adjusts, forces defenders into reactive mode instead of proactive modes. That is why you see the NFL defenses end up with coverages mismatched, delayed rotations, and big plays anyways. This isn't just a one guy getting open, it changes how the team plays every down. If you got a receiver who has beat man coverage, beat zone coverage, and beat graphic schemes, every defensive game plan must blend. This means sooner or later something is going to break. Even elite defenses units have forced and communicated this still finds themselves giving up big plays to him. Whether it's regular season or the playoffs, opposing defenses have tried shadow coverages. They have tried too high safeties. They have tried bracket schemes and spy adjustments. And the results have been largely the same game after game after game. Simply put, JSN finds success. That is why defense keep losing to him. They are not stopping him. They are trying to contain him, and containment just doesn't work. So here's the big question for you guys, Man Hour Nation, tonight. Is the way you beat JSN to take away his initial step? Do you take him completely out of the game plan and hope something else beats you? How are you going to beat the Seattle Seahawks with JSN playing at the level that he is right now? Guys, drop in the comments down below. I want to hear your scream ideas for the Seattle Seahawks. Guys, if you are hyped for this game, hit the like button down below. Share it as well. Guys, it's a live interactive show, so let's get into it. James Frank says JSN will win the MVP of the Super Bowl. He'll say, y'all wouldn't give it to me in the NFL honors, so I'm taking that shit during the Super Bowl. And you know what, James? I would love to give it to him. Matter of fact, I think Average American Boy said he's going to go off for 150 on Sunday. And if he goes off for 150 and 3 tutties, you know what? Sam Darnold's going to have probably 300 yards and four tutties. And we all know the quarterback's going to win that award. Let's just be honest. It is what it is. Happens every year. Literally happens every year. Quarterbacks. Let's give it to a defensive lineman. Who is that guy from the Dallas Cowboys that now play for the Seahawks? Oh, what is his name? Why is his name slipping my mind? Look it up, Bucky. Oh, hey, I got it. Damn, chill, brother. I think it was Javavion, wasn't it? No, it was DeMarcus Lawrence. Pretty sure. Let me look to make sure. Yes, DeMarcus Lawrence. Give it to DeMarcus Lawrence. Let him eat. That's what it's going to come down to. But guys, it's been a great week. Man Hour Nation has been here all week long, guys. Thank you for carrying with me with the weird schedule being at 5 1 week, 5:30 the next day. We're going to be back to 7 p.m. East Coast time. Moving forward, we do have basketball a couple nights, I guess, this week. So just play with it, guys. But just be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, so you never miss a live interactive show, guys. I am picking the Seahawks to win this Super Bowl. I know. Go Hawks. See you guys Monday. We out.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man, now NFL talk. I know that you're ready for more. They on the